So in this video, we're going to review how you use sine, cosine, or tangent to find the missing side in a right triangle if you were told one angle and one side. First, and most importantly, you have to pick the correct ratio. So from the angle they give you the measurement for, you figure out which side of the triangle has a number on it. In this case, across from the right angle, we find the hypotenuse. And then which side of the triangle is the side you're finding or has the x on it. So across from the 53-degree angle, so this is the opposite, is what we're looking for. So we want to find the ratio that uses both the opposite and the hypotenuse, which is paired up with the sine ratio. So that's how we pick the correct ratio. Now we're going to plug our values into it. So the sine of A equals opposite over hypotenuse. A stands for the angle measurement, so we're going to put 53 degrees in. And opposite is the x, and hypotenuse is the 15. So we've plugged in our values, and we're going to solve for x in step 3. So we're going to make a proportion out of this by putting the sine over 1 so that we can cross multiply, and possibly we'll have to divide. X times 1 equals x. Sine of 53 times 15. I always like to put the number first and the sine or cosine or tangent second, so I don't have to use parentheses. And now I pick up my calculator. Make sure your calculator's in degree mode. Ask if you need help, and type 15 times the sine of 53, and you'll get 11.980 if you round. Okay, let's try another one. Okay, so this one up here, we're going to find the value of C for. So again, find the angle they're asking you to look for. It's up here on the top. Across the triangle, we find a 7, which is opposite. And here's the right angle, so across from the right angle, we find the hypotenuse. So again, we choose the ratio that would let us connect opposite and hypotenuse, which hasn't changed from the last problem. That's going to be sine again. So sine of the angle, so sine of 30 equals opposite over hypotenuse. So this time it's 7 over C. Okay, we'll put a 1 underneath sine of 30 to make a proportion, and we'll cross multiply. 7 times 1 is 7, equal sign in the middle. Sine of 30 times C, again, I put the sine or cosine or tangent second, so I don't have to use parentheses. So C times the sine of 30. Notice we're not done here. C is not by itself, so we haven't solved. So we're going to have to divide by the sine of 30. Remember, sine of 30 is just going to be a number. We just haven't found out what the number is yet, but the calculator would know it. So we're going to divide that away to get C by itself. And so in our calculator, we're going to do 7 divided by the sine of 30, which is 14. Nice little number there. Okay, there's one more example under here, and I notice I have a problem with it because I say find the value of C, and then on the picture there's an X. I'm going to scribble that X off, and I'm going to put the C here just to make the problem a little more interesting. Okay, so again, find the angle they're asking you to look from and label the triangle from there. So across from that, I find a 24, so that's the opposite. Where I scribbled things off was the hypotenuse. So that means that what we're looking for, the C, must be the adjacent. So we want to find, we're not using the hypotenuse at all here, we want to find the ratio that connects the adjacent and the opposite together. So when I think back through sine, cosine, tangent, SOHCAHTOA, it's the tangent that I need. So instead of sine, we're going to use tangent of the angle 67 degrees equals opposite over adjacent. The opposite is 24. The adjacent is C. And we'll make it a proportion by putting 1 underneath the sine of the tangent of 67. And then cross multiply. 24 times 1 is 24. Sine of 67 times C is C times the sine of 67 degrees, which is just a number. We just don't know what it is yet, so we're going to divide by that value on both sides to get C by itself, and then we go to our calculator and type it in. Okay, 24 divided by tangent of 67 is 10.187. Okay, if you have questions, please let me know.